Hello, Unleashed friends. I'm going to do a quick review. I was challenged to read this. This is The Color of Compromise by Jamar Tisby. This is all the rage in the woke church. And the guy makes really good, he's a really clear writer. So in that sense, you can get through it pretty quick. The first third is all of the awful history in this country of what happened with slavery and all that. And I guess my big beef is I don't see how that ties to me and the idea that I'm somehow responsible for what someone else did. When my great-grandparents were over in Holland at the time, they didn't have anything to do with that. And that really is a key problem with these books that are rooted in BLM and CRT, is that they fail to prove the necessity that this is my fault. I get it that it's an American problem, and this is part of America's history. But the idea that, and they're all against the Thomas Sowell answers, which is personal responsibility. That is, I'm responsible for what I do right now today, and so are you. And that some of the greatest people like Larry Elder or Thomas Sowell or Clarence Thomas, they worked out their own worldview based on their decisions, and they succeeded accordingly. So there's none of that kind of talk in this book. In the end, I believe this book will actually increase hostility between all kinds of groups. He breaks up groups into the powerful or the privileged, and kind of the usurpers against a bunch of victims and people who are treated as helpless. And that's something that is generally opposed, because I've just seen too many people just choose to be a victim and not do well. And I know that's a difficult thing to say, but what is the solution going to be? I don't see how the solution is going to be reparations. In fact, I'd be fine to pay some reparations if everyone would shut up after that. But we all know that that would just be the start, and it really wouldn't solve anything, because that's essentially giving a man a fish instead of teaching him how to fish. And I'm about teaching people how to fish. So the book is troubling. It is a troubling fad in the church, which for years, the church's biggest problem, biggest philosophical problem that goes back 3,000 years, the Epicurean challenge is, how does a good God allow evil? And now suddenly you're starting to see this brand new problem in the church, is what are we going to do about white evangelical privilege? And that just tells me that the church is following fads within culture. When they agree 100% with one of our two political parties, suddenly I smell politics and not God's truth. There isn't a single answer in here that is from the Bible, which would make it actually Christian. And that's where I get my marching orders from, the Bible, not culture and not Tisby. Sorry, this gets a thumbs down. Still, worth reading if you want to get up on contemporary fads in the church. This is where we're at.